What's up everybody, it's Rashad Buie. Consider hitting the like and subscribe button as I upload videos on a weekly basis covering the hottest topics in sports, especially if it is OU related. This is Ballin' with Buie. Today I want to get my predictions for the Big 12 tournament. It's arguably going to be the best tournament in college basketball, maybe besides the Big 10. Big 10 is going to have a pretty solid tournament too, but one of those conferences is easily going to have the best tournament because they have the best teams in college basketball. So let's dive on in. The first playing game of the tournament is going to be 8 TCU against 9 Kansas State. This game honestly doesn't matter too much because the winner gets to play Baylor, so I don't even know if you want to win because you're going to get absolutely destroyed by Baylor. But I think that Kansas State is probably going to pull the win out. I trust Kansas State a little bit more in the basketball game, even though they're the one seed lower than TCU in the Big 12. I think that K-State will show up to play. And TCU, they haven't really made any noise. K-State's pulled off a couple upsets this year. TCU, they haven't really done much besides to get a couple easy wins. So yeah, I got K-State winning that first playing game. And the second playing game is Oklahoma, who decided to absolutely suck to end the year. So they fall all the way to the 7th seed, and they have to play the worst team in the Big 12, Iowa State, at the 10 slot. Now, if OU drops this game, that's just pathetic, and I would wish that we wouldn't make the NCAA tournament, but we still would, obviously. But Oklahoma should win this game, and they should win it easily. The first time we played Iowa State, it was not an easy game. It was a struggle. And then the second time, it was a completely different story. It was an easy win for them. But Oklahoma should win this game. I have them winning this game. Iowa State will probably show up and play hard, but Oklahoma, you're clearly the better basketball team, so you clearly should win the game. We'll see what happens. They have not looked good as of late. They've dropped 4 straight. So I don't trust them. It would surprise me if they lost just because Iowa State, they didn't win a single conference game. But yeah, I think OU should be able to advance. In the first quarterfinal game, 4 West Virginia versus 5 Oklahoma State, and they just played a couple of days ago. Oklahoma State ended up getting the win without a Cade Cunningham, and I expect Cade Cunningham to be playing, and I expect Oklahoma State to get another victory. West Virginia is a very good basketball team, but they have just not been able to stop Oklahoma State for whatever reason. And Oklahoma State has been on a tear. They beat OU twice, and they fought hard against Baylor. Even though they lost, they fought hard in the first half. But Oklahoma State is looking really good. They're hitting their stride right at the right time, and I think they're going to win that quarterfinal game against West Virginia and move on. The second quarterfinal game is going to be Kansas at the 2 seed against Oklahoma. And the way Oklahoma has looked, I don't think that they're going to beat Kansas. They lost to Kansas in the first matchup of the year, and they beat them in the second matchup. But that second matchup came a long time ago, and that came when Oklahoma was on that hot run and when Kansas was on the downfall. And now those roles are completely flipped. Oklahoma is on the downfall, and Kansas has turned things around considerably since the beginning of the year. So I think Kansas is going to advance. I don't think OU is going to be able to stop them, especially in the paint, because Brady Manick can't stop anyone in the paint. But yeah, I got Kansas moving on in that one. In the third quarterfinal game, third quarterfinal game, we got number 1 Baylor. It's 9 Kansas State. I think Baylor is going to absolutely destroy them. They've looked great since they returned from COVID, despite that one loss where they shot terribly. They didn't play too great in that one, but since that game, it's been the pre-COVID Baylor kind of has returned. I think Baylor's going to absolutely destroy Kansas State and move on to the semis. And the last quarterfinal game is 3 Texas against 6 Texas Tech. And Texas Tech, I think, is going to be a surprise team in this tournament. They have been kind of inconsistent the past couple weeks. They haven't looked too great, but neither has Texas. Texas has not looked good for several weeks. They did beat Oklahoma the other night, but I still don't trust Texas too much. And I think Mac McClung, I think this is kind of his kind of feel, his kind of moment. He's going to step up and he's going to make plays, and I think Texas Tech will pull off quote-unquote upset because they're the lower seed. I think they will pull off the upset in the Big 12 tournament and advance to the semis and beat Texas. And the first semifinal game is going to be Oklahoma State against Baylor. Baylor beat them pretty handedly both times in the regular season, and I think They're going to beat them handedly again. Oklahoma State is a good basketball team. They are a fairly solid basketball team. Just Baylor is on a completely different level than Oklahoma State, and Oklahoma State won't have an answer for them. They just can't guard the three well enough to be able to keep Baylor from hitting threes. Cade Cunningham can only do so much. Now, if Cade Cunningham wants to drop, I'd say Cade Cunningham would probably have to drop 45 for Oklahoma State to get the win. If that doesn't happen, then they have no chance. I think Baylor's going to advance to the finals. They're one of the best teams in college basketball, so that shouldn't be a surprise. And second for my semifinal games, 2 Kansas against 6 Texas Tech. And like I said, I think Tech is going to be the surprise team of the tourney, and I think they're going to pull off the upset against Kansas. They did beat Kansas in their last matchup, I believe. And Kansas has looked good, and it'd be easy to put the 1-2 in the finals. It's easy to do in any kind of tournament to just go with the favorites in all of them. But I think Tech is gonna get it done and be able to advance to the finals to take on the Baylor Bears, where ultimately I think the Baylor Bears are gonna get it done. Even though they dropped one game in the regular season to Kansas, I think they're clearly the best team in the Big 12 and one of the best teams in all of college basketball. So I think Baylor's going to win the Big 12 tournament. It shouldn't be too much of a struggle for them, honestly. I mean, everyone's going to come to play. Everyone's going to come to play hard because it's the Big 12 tournament. So a lot of things can happen, and a lot of things usually do happen that you don't expect. And the Big 12 is one of the best conferences, so you know there's going to be several good games that probably come down to the wire. But I think Baylor will get it done. I don't imagine them dropping a game in the Big 12 tournament. They're just too good. But Tech, I think, is going to be able to make a run to the championship and increase their seeding for the NCAA tournament, which is going to be a win for them if they can make it there and increase their seeding. But yeah, NCAA tournament's coming. I can't wait for March Madness. I think the Big 12 tournament is going to be good. Like I said, I think the Big 10 tournament is going to be good. ACC probably not as usual. I mean, Duke and North Carolina aren't what they usually are. SEC tournament's probably going to be pretty decent as well. But yeah, I can't wait. It's going to be a lot of basketball here in the next couple weeks. I'm excited. That's all I got for y'all. Catch y'all later. Deuces.